Hello, everyone. Today we've got a fantastic, creepy, scary folk horror story for you. This book just came out, I believe, just a few days ago, less than a week. And I got the chance to read it over on NetGalley, and I've been waiting to do my review, and I can't wait for you all to hear about it. But first, I want to remind you that I have books for sale. If you want to purchase any of those you see on the screen, you can go to the link in the description. And also, my story appears along with 20 other authors in the anthology Ooze, Little Bursts of Body Horror. There's a link down below for that as well if you want to purchase it. All right, let's get on with the video. All right. So the book we're going to be talking about today is called The Broken Places by Blaine Daigle. This is a folk horror story. Does it have a creepy cabin isolated in the woods? Check. Does it have a snowstorm that strands all the people that are involved in this cabin? Oh, yeah. And does it have extraordinarily scary creatures and things that happen that will make you want to lose some water in your pants? Oh, check-a-rooney. It's got all those things. And by the way, I love books that have this as the background. I mean, alone in a cabin, you're stormed in, you can't leave, and spooky things start happening. What do? I love that. I love that setup, and it makes the perfect setting for this story. We have three friends, lifelong friends, who are going to a cabin in a remote area right by a small town. One of them owns the cabin now. He inherited it from his father. He used to go there as a child with his father and uncle. And when he was younger, one year when they went there, he had an incident. Something happened to him. His father and uncle convinced him that it was just a dream. He was sleepwalking. He was having a waking nightmare, kind of, not to worry about it. So he didn't really give it much thought. But now him and his friends are going up there for one last hurrah, because unbeknownst to his two friends, he's going to tell them something, reveal something that could change their friendship forever. And he thought doing it up there where they're isolated, where they're away from everybody, might be the best way to ease into this conversation he's about to have. The thing is, they get into town, they stop at a store for supplies before they head up to the cabin. And right away, we know something is wrong, right? I mean, the locals, they aren't outwardly aggressive to these guys, but they are not exactly friendly neither. They're looking at them strange. All of these men get the feeling that they're being talked about behind their back or looked down upon for some reason. They're just there shopping, getting supplies. They meet the sheriff in the town when they leave the store. And because of this, the guy that owns the cabin now, his association with the town from when he was younger with his father and his uncle, the sheriff is friendly to him, gives his condolences for the loss of his father and uncle, and everything seems to be okay for him. The rest of them, maybe not so much, the other two. Because in any good folk horror story, there has to be that feeling that outsiders are not really welcome. And I love that also. That's one thing I love about folk horror is the mystery behind these towns and these locations that the books are set in. And on the way to the cabin from the store, they encounter their first creepy thing. So this book starts out like right away you're in for a creep fest with this one. They encounter something along a narrow road on the way up to the cabin, something that shouldn't happen, and something that results in a thing that will perpetrate things that are going to happen in the future. Let's put it that way. And they finally get to the cabin. Of course, they get snowed in, a huge storm. Make sure that they can't escape. And then the really frightening things start to happen. they start hearing voices. They start seeing things out the window that can't possibly happen. All the animals in the area start acting really weird and uncharacteristic. Imagine this. I'll just put this out there. Just a little glimpse of what these guys are going through. Imagine you wake up in the middle of the night, you hear what sounds like singing or humming or voices coming from all around a cabin that you're isolated in. And you look outside and you are surrounded by animals from the forest, bears and wolves and foxes and things that should not be together. And they're just surrounding the cabin, not doing anything, but just staring. And with that constant humming, those constant voices coming from all around you, and knowing that you can't escape. I love that. It absolutely sent chills up my spine when I read that, and I knew I was in good hands right from the beginning. But yes, there are going to be secrets about this town, secrets that he did not know even when he was younger, up until now when he's an adult there with his friends. Family secrets. But this book's also about friendships, and how sometimes those friendships can be the only thing that keeps us together mentally when stuff goes horribly wrong. Because as we're going to find out, each of these young men has something going on in their lives right now that has made them kind of different than who they were when they were growing up. They've each experienced something that kind of crushed their hopes and dreams and their paths in life that they had forged when they were younger. And now certain events transpired that kind of took all that away, and they're all kind of in this kind of twilight zone of their lives. You work so hard for a goal your whole life, and then it gets snatched away due to unfortunate circumstances. And where do you go from there when you put all your hopes and dreams in this one thing that you want to do? So they're all suffering from that, but they've all been friends for such a long time. They know they can rely on each other, and they're going to have to if they want to survive. Because once these strange events starts happening, and they start ramping up, and the claustrophobia is so intense in this book because they are in this cabin, and even when they can go outside, they're limited to a very small area around the cabin because of the weather that's happening. And they have to decide what they need to do to survive. They're going to have to figure out the secrets of this cabin, the secrets of this town, what exactly happened to him when he was younger that his father and uncle told him was just a dream, just a sleepwalking nightmare kind of thing. And they're going to have to put that all together if they have any hope at all of trying to survive. Of course, because they're in this cabin, they're far away from town. Emergency services are not available. And at one point, somebody's going to get injured. It is life and death, and they have to decide what to do from there as well. This is an excellent, scary folk horror novel about secrets that are deep and dark. And you're going to have to dig, together as the reader and the characters, we're going to have to dig together for these secrets, find out exactly why these things are happening, how it's going to affect them, and what happens if they can't come up with an answer before it's too late. Yeah, this is a fantastic book. I absolutely loved it. It brought the scares, it has the tension, it has the friendship, it has the perfect atmosphere, I think, for this kind of story. And of course, like I said, the claustrophobia, as they can't escape anywhere, and they start losing their grip a little bit on reality, going through the old cabin fever there, which doesn't help the situation at all. So I highly recommend picking up The Broken Places. I will leave a link down below where you can do so at Amazon, and I highly recommend it. It's just fantastic. And I want to say thank you for taking some of your time, spending it here with me. I really appreciate you guys watching. And until we meet again, keep reading spooky, my friends.